Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. Yeah, I'm back. I didn't put out a video last week because I just ended up watching so much tennis. There just wasn't time, and a week off was definitely due. So, I have to work to pay bills, and then I do this, and it's just all of my time. So watch some tennis, but now I'm back at it. And today's video is going to show you just how much control you have in, being the king in your own castle, in your own home. Everywhere in society, we abide by rules, no matter where you're at. And that includes even in your own home. Okay, especially like if you have a homeowners association, but now your utility companies are getting involved with that. A Colorado utility company locked 22,000 thermostats in 90-degree weather due to energy emergency. This was a September 2nd article. Here's another one about it that was on September 5th. Here's another one that is September 3rd. And yeah, they just locked people out and took over the people's thermostats and didn't let people inside of their own homes control their heat, which then, according to this headline and others, sparked outrage. Now, some of this outrage is justified. Some of it is just really silly. Now, right here, it's happening in Spain too. Here's Lisa Haven. Now, just listen, and I'll explain how ridiculous this is.
At TheGuardian.com, Spain put limits on air conditioning and heating to save energy. Here's how extreme it actually was. They were told to not set them above 19 degrees Celsius, and air conditioning should not be set below 27 degrees Celsius. And that was in your shopping centers, your cinemas, and all of these kinds of businesses. But to put that in perspective, here in the U.S., that means that during or when you're in the blazing hot temperatures, that means you can only set, when it's hot outside, your thermostat to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine being hot outside in the Arizona heat and coming home to 80 degrees. Not only that, but in the winter, you can only set it to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. This could be a death sentence to some of our elderly people who really, really need some cooling temperatures. But you know what?
You know what, Lisa? Lisa and everybody else in the independent media who will not give you any real environmental information are always out there spewing this, okay? So in the summer, you can only set your degrees to your interior temperature to 80 degrees, which is an outrage because, oh my God, if it's hot outside, 80 degrees is too hot inside, okay? But then in the winter, she argues that 66 degrees is too cold because it's cold outside. You know what? Your interior temperature it doesn't matter what temperature it is outside. It's how comfortable is it inside of your house. I don't know anybody in 80-degree weather that's like, oh my God, it's just sweltering. It's just so hot. I just can't bear it. 80 degrees isn't that hot. And 66 degrees isn't that cold. Okay, I keep my heat on 66 degrees. So what essentially Lisa always argues for, and others too, she just always does it, and I remembered this video, but she wants you in the summer to turn your air conditioning down to 66 degrees because if it's hot outside, well, then you must come home to a 66-degree temperature, which she's now saying is just way too cold. And in the winter, she wants you to have your heat at 80 or above. But if you have your heat at 80 in the summer, it's too hot. So that it makes no sense. Okay, it makes no sense. We just need a happy medium. And what we need people to be environmentally literate and educated so that they can make their own decisions. So, they become the solution with just responsible solutions. because you know what? 66 degrees is not cold and 80 degrees isn't hot. And if 66 degrees is too cold for you to have it in the winter, then why, just because it's hot outside in the summer, is 66 degrees okay? It's not. It makes no sense. But that is Lisa Havens and others are always making that ridiculous argument. They want you to have freezing cold temperatures indoors in the summer because it's hot outside, temperatures that they say are too cold for winter, which is ridiculous. And then they want you to have, in the winter, temperatures that they say are too hot to have indoors in the summer. Your indoor temperature is just your indoor temperature. It doesn't matter what degree it is outside. And if 66 degrees is too cool in the winter and 80 degrees is too hot in the summer, then 80 degrees is too hot in the winter and 66 degrees is too cold in the summer. But they constantly argue for that because they just refuse to just think that we actually have to show the planet some respect and that we actually just have to live responsibly and pick a temperature. You know what? You know what I do? I open my windows in the summer. I've never even had as much as a fan. And I've lived in hot places, and you know what? Sometimes, yeah, it gets hot for a couple months. So be it. It's summer. And in the winter, I truly keep my heat at like 60, 62 degrees, and there is absolutely nothing the matter with it. There has never been a person outside on a 60, 62-degree day going, oh my God, it's so cold. Oh my God, I think I'm going to freeze to death. No, that's ridiculous. 60 degrees is actually just fine in the winter. And if you're cold, it's winter. Put on a sweater. But, everybody in the independent media who just can't be bothered to have any respect for the planet is always spewing out this ridiculous that Lisa Haven, again, on August 29th, spewed out. But the people, in Colorado, now here is the problem. Big Brother controlling your thermostat. Okay? See, in your home, if you're the king of your castle and we live in a free country, you should be able to make your heating decisions. Now, in my perfect world, you would be educated and then we would gain your cooperation so you would make responsible decisions and you would find a comfortable interior temperature where you wouldn't freeze yourself out in the summer and you wouldn't put the heat on so hot that you open windows in the winter, which is what many people do, which is what Lisa Havens is always advocating for. And it's ridiculous. But no, Big Brother should never be in control of your thermostat. But with the New World Order, that is exactly what's happening these days. 22,000 smart thermostats were locked on a day when temperatures approach 90 degrees. Oh my God, 90 degrees, it's summer out, people. That's not that hot. Okay, deal with it. But they said temperatures locked temporarily due to an energy emergency. The message is read on those XL Energy smart thermostats. And, it's these people, they enrolled in a community energy savings program where they got $100 credit to sign up and then they get $25 a year. It's a voluntary program. And it does let, the energy company control your thermostat somewhat, but this is the most extreme it's been so far. Okay, and it can even get more extreme. Who says that the energy company can't say, 55, that's good enough? Well, actually, most hypothermia happens in 50-degree weather. So, I don't recommend 55. I just recommend being educated so that you understand the consequences of your actions and so that you will just make responsible decisions. But Americans want it every which way. They want to be able to just freeze themselves out in the summer and then roast themselves in the winter, when in the opposite seasons that roasting is too warm and that freezing is too cold, which makes no sense. So, this is just Americans
With my
not
hectic
making
life, you'd
any
think retirement would
sense.
be the last thing on.
So right here, a customer from that Excel Energy in Arvada, California, said normally when we see a message like that, they're able to override it, the energy emergency message, where it prevented them from turning the dial. In this case, they weren't. Our thermostat was locked at 78 or 79 degrees. And you know what? That's not that hot. What did this guy want to go down to? 60? 60 degrees that in the winter he would complain isn't warm enough? Well, if it's too cold in the winter, then 60 degrees is too cold in the summer too. There's nothing the matter with 78 or 79 degrees. Truly. I mean, yeah, truly. You should just, if you shouldn't even have air conditioning, but if you do, which you should not even have air conditioning, period. Okay, if you live in a hot place, figure it out. And if where you live gets hot a couple months a year, figure it out. There should not even be air conditioning. We didn't have environmental problems when we didn't have air conditionings in buildings. And there's solutions. But, everybody just wants to just be accommodated and just be, get whatever creature comforts they want. But is it responsible? No. But do you need heat in the winter? Yeah. Yeah, you do. And, these people, they're not going to be happy with 79, 78 degrees. They want their heating temperature in the winter to be in the 80s, which they're saying is too high, right? Some people, their thermostats were stuck at 88 degrees. And yeah, you know what? That is kind of a little high, but it's summer, people. It's warm weather, season. Now, do I think that, Big Brother should actually have control of your thermostat and be able to be controlling what's going on inside of your house? Absolutely not. Big Brother should never be in control of anything inside of your house. But should we have logic coming up with what's a good indoor temperature? Okay. And you know what? Maybe in the summer, you're just going to be a little hot. That's how life is. And in the winter, if 60, 62 degrees isn't warm enough for you, put on a sweater, put on a fleece, put on a pair of socks. I live in the mountains, and I cannot tell you how many just truly they pretty much are, bimbos who have nothing but, look at me, I'm a size 2. And they walk around in like incredible short shorts with just not even tank tops, just spaghetti strap tops in the winter. In January, February. I mean, guess what? Guess what? Put on some clothes, people. Okay. And, get something other than the fact that you're a size 2 to offer someone to attract them. But, I see a bunch of women who have nothing except that they're a size 2 do that all the time, all winter, because it's the only thing they have to offer anybody. And, it's ridiculous. The thought that they would put on a sweater, put on a pair of pants, put on a long sleeve shirt in the winter just appalls them. And they don't have to. They don't have to. They can afford their electric bill. They can afford their heating bill. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But Big Brother, this is just the start of what Big Brother is going to be controlling in your lives. And I am not for that. But I am also not for the ridiculousness that Lisa Havens and many, many other, independent media, right-wing people who have exactly no respect for the fact that Earth itself is its own livable planet, that we need to keep in the parameters that it's in right now for it to continue to allow humans to exist. These people have no respect for that. And she constantly makes a ridiculous argument that in the summer, then your air conditioning should be at 60 because it's hot outside, but 60 degrees in the winter is too cold. So you should have to have your, heat at like 80, 85, 88, which she says is absolutely too hot to be in the summer. It makes no sense. But Lisa Havens constantly spews that out, and so does other independent media people. But right now, Big Brother is starting to impose on people's lives and taking control of your heating. And this is only going to continue. It's not just going to be heating, it's going to be everything. When you go to pay for something and you only have digital currency, you know what? No, you had too many drinks last week. You can't buy any more beer. No. You have to lose a few pounds. So put back those chips and that pizza. This is the start of Big Brother telling you what you can do. Now that's what I'm opposed to. Am I opposed to having a responsible temperature inside of your house year round? No. Responsible, which means that if 60 is warm enough on a hot summer day, it's warm enough in a winter, your interior temperature is irregardless of what's happening outside. So, we do have to, good luck, get on top of this and get it to the point where people are in control. It's the energies company to provide you energy, not to ration you, not in a free world, not in a free market. In a free market, yeah, you can use what you want. Should you use it irresponsibly like Lisa's promoting? No. No, you shouldn't. But you have that free will choice. And then you just hope that enough people live responsibly just because it's the responsible thing to do. But right now, there is a problem with, utility companies taking control of people's interiors. And this truly is just the start of Big Brother coming to your house. And that does have to be controlled. But so doesn't ridiculousness that people like Lisa Haven and other people promote. That 60 degrees is just absolutely frigid in the winter, but in the summer it should be what you should be allowed to put your air conditioning to, which makes no sense. Okay? These people make no sense. So, just know that this is going on, and this truly has to, the people have to push back. The people have to be in control in their castle, where you should be making the rules. The one place in the world, when you walk into your door, you should be able to make the rules. And if people don't push back on this, then I mean, people already in most places don't get to make the rules in their house. They're abiding by their landlord. They're abiding by their condo association. They're abiding by their homeowner association. I mean, just to build a house, you're abiding by town code. But at some point, there is free will, and humans, if they are free, you should be able to do what you want in your home within reason. And and having power companies decide that they're going to be the ones determining the heat in your home is definitely not freedom. And it's something that truly can't be tolerated, but we do need to educate people so that we get their individual cooperation and that they just have respect for that heating, for that cooling, and for the planet that allows for humans to live. Because it's a very fine balance. The temperatures, the balance. Humans did not exist for most of Earth's 4.5 billion years because it wasn't adaptable for humans. Okay, so we do have to keep within that fine boundary that people like Lisa Havens and everybody in the independent media won't learn anything about, and they won't have any respect for it. So just don't listen to these people. yap as if they make any sense. They don't. This makes sense. This is what we need to do. And this, utility companies are definitely becoming a problem. And it's only going to get worse if people don't step up. So stay tuned, people.